Okay, listen. Comparing one person's emotional experience to another person's emotional experience is a little bit like comparing apples to oranges. Everybody is unique, right? So one person's sensory experience of their emotions is not an accurate standard or a barometer for the rest of humanity's emotional experience. I had a therapist tell me years and years and years and years ago that children are born on a scale of sensitivity. So, for example, scientists don't know why, but one child may be born semi-sensitive or neutrally sensitive, if you will, where another child is born inherently extremely sensitive. And a whole separate video talking about causation. This is about the actual impact. And when you're coming into this life, let's say you come in like me and you're extremely, extremely sensitive. Then the person experiences certain forms of trauma and developmental trauma, perhaps wounding because of that sensitivity that just heightens that sensitivity to a whole nother level and extreme, right? No matter what arena of life that person walks into, the majority of them, they are not going to fully belong or properly relate to everybody around them because their perception is so starkly different, which causes a host of other amplifications and issues emotionally too. And this right here is why we cannot look at one person and give them the same advice or practices or healing work or even just guidance as the next person in terms of emotional and nervous system healing, because everybody is operating on a different level. And one thing that I continue to learn on this journey when it comes to healing and working with people is that there is absolutely no one size fits all. We are all incredibly unique beings because our energy is programmed differently and our nervous systems have been through different codings and experiences. We may all be connected. We may all bleed red and share this human condition, but our emotional experiences are super, super different. So to expect one person to respond the exact same way, to treat themselves the exact same way as everybody else, to hold the same standard for each and every human being when it comes to anything somatic or nervous system related or just emotions in general is archaic and does not take into account the inherent diversity within the human genome, the human experience. I so deeply feel that we're approaching a space in humanity where we need to better understand and tailor healing experiences to the unique being sitting in front of us to really sharpen our ability to attune and to cultivate that skill of attunement, because it's so vital. Some people have to work a lot harder at attunement for multiple reasons. Some people, it is so ingrained in them because of their traumas or whatnot. It can, sort of be like a double-edged sword, but attunement is so important, and the honoring of people's inherent energetic blueprint. Because when you walk a spiritual path, or like, let's say you really immerse yourself in a spiritual practice, that sensitivity is almost positively going to increase. And yes, we can change the mental construct and sort of the mental map around that. And that can be extremely beneficial to working toward energetic sovereignty. But we need to understand as a society that not everybody relates to their emotions the same way. I grew up so deeply sensitive and with certain energetic senses heightened. So I didn't learn right away that my energetic experience was completely different than so many other people's, including my immediate caregivers. And my emotions came through big, and they came through super strong. It took me truly grasping just how sensitive I was and truly grasping that, not everybody else experiences the world this way. Therefore, I was like chronically misunderstood in so many scenarios. So naturally, what works for you may not at all work for the next person, and so on and so on. And with this little bit of understanding, we can actually remove a lot of the judgment and a lot of the comparison energy too, between ourselves and others in our own healing journeys, because not only is it unnecessary, but in so many aspects, it doesn't even make sense and is completely irrelevant, except within the mind and the pattern. I hope this helps.